Princess Sofia loved flowers more than anything else. Every morning, she woke up excited to see the gardens of Enchancia, where roses, lilies, tulips, and daisies grew in every color of the rainbow. The castle gardens were magical. Some flowers shimmered in the sunlight, and others glowed faintly at night. Sophia loved their colors, their shapes, and even their sweet smells. One sunny morning, as Sophia wandered through the rose bushes, she noticed something special. She saw a little golden butterfly land on a rose petal, and in that moment, an idea came to her. I want to become a florist. Sophia had never tried to arrange flowers before, but she imagined herself creating beautiful bouquets that would make everyone in the kingdom happy. She pictured magical flowers sparkling in her hands, roses tied with colorful ribbons, and lilies glowing softly like stars. Her heart beat fast with excitement. She wanted to learn everything about flowers, their names, how to take care of them, and how to make arrangements that could tell stories. Clover, her loyal bunny friend, hopped alongside her. A florist? Clover asked, twitching his nose. Yes, Clover, a royal florist. I think I can help spread happiness with flowers, Sophia said with a bright smile. Sophia rushed to the royal greenhouses. They were huge, filled with plants and flowers from all over the kingdom. Some were ordinary, but others were magical. She carefully opened the greenhouse doors, and a soft scent of roses and jasmine filled the air. Sunlight poured through glass windows, making the leaves shine. Sophia felt a spark of magic as she walked between the rows of colorful flowers. She wanted to learn everything she could. She touched petals gently, smelling each flower, and imagined which colors would look beautiful together in a bouquet. She sat down with a notebook and a pencil. Sophia began sketching ideas. She drew roses, tulips, lilies, and even some flowers she had never seen before. She imagined bouquets for birthdays, festivals, and even royal celebrations. She wanted each bouquet to be unique. As she drew, her imagination filled with colors and patterns. The more she sketched, the more Sophia realized how much she loved flowers. She felt calm and happy. This idea of becoming a florist was not just exciting. It felt like it was meant to be. Then she thought about the challenge. Being a florist is not easy, she whispered to Clover. I need to learn how to care for flowers. I need to understand them. Clover twitched his nose thoughtfully. Do you think you can do it? He asked. Of course, Sophia said, her voice filled with determination. I'll learn everything I need. I will practice every day. I want to be a florist who brings joy to everyone in Enchancia. Princess Sophia's first lesson was about caring for flowers. She learned to water them correctly, to trim their stems, and to make sure each plant had enough sunlight. She noticed that magical flowers were very sensitive. If they were not taken care of properly, they could droop or lose their glow. Sophia paid attention to every detail. She moved slowly, making sure not to harm any petals. She whispered to some of the magical roses, hoping that her gentle words would help them bloom. Clover watched her with curiosity, hopping from one foot to another. By the end of the morning, Sophia had learned a lot. She knew the names of dozens of flowers and had even arranged a small bunch of roses and lilies. It wasn't perfect, but she smiled proudly at her work. The flowers seemed to sparkle with approval. This is just the beginning, Clover, Sophia said. But soon I will be a florist who can make the whole kingdom happy with flowers. Sophia realized that floristry was not just about flowers. It was about patience, care, and imagination. She knew she had a long journey ahead, but she felt ready. She would learn, practice, and grow, just like the flowers in the castle gardens. As the sun set over Enchancia, painting the sky with pink and gold, Sophia looked at her little bouquet. She held it close, smiling. She was excited about tomorrow, when she would continue her journey as a royal florist. The adventure had just begun, and Sophia felt her heart bloom like the most beautiful flower in the garden. The next morning, Princess Sofia woke up early. She was eager to continue her journey of becoming a royal florist. Her eyes sparkled with excitement as she got dressed in her lavender gown and ran down to the castle gardens. Clover hopped beside her, his tiny paws making soft thuds on the stone pathway. Good morning, Clover. Today we learn more about flowers, Sophia said cheerfully. The fresh morning air smelled sweet with dew and flower petals, and the sun shone warmly over the kingdom of Enchancia. Sophia met the royal gardener, Mr. Thistle, a kind man who had taken care of the castle gardens for many years. He was tall and wore a green apron covered in small flower stains. "Good morning, Princess Sofia," he said with a smile. "I hear you want to learn the art of floristry. That is wonderful. Flowers have magic. You know, they bloom with care and attention, and sometimes they respond to kindness." Sophia's eyes widened. "They respond to kindness?" she asked. Mr. Thistle nodded. "Yes, Princess. Flowers can feel love. If you care for them, they grow healthier and even shine brighter." Sophia's first lesson was about watering. Mr. Thistle handed her a small watering can filled with enchanted water. "Not too much, not too little," he instructed. "Flowers need balance. Too much water can drown them, and too little can make them droop." Sophia carefully poured water over the petals of a glowing lily. The flower seemed to perk up, its soft glow intensifying. "See, Clover? The flower likes it," she whispered to her bunny friend. Clover twitched his nose, looking curious and impressed. Next, Mr. Thistle showed Sophia how to trim flowers. He explained that cutting stems properly help flowers stay fresh longer. Sophia picked up a pair of small golden scissors and began practicing. Her hands trembled slightly, but she focused carefully, remembering to be gentle. When she finished trimming a batch of roses, she stepped back and smiled. The flowers looked neat and tidy, and their colors shone brighter than before. She felt proud, even though she knew there was much more to learn. Then came the most exciting part, arranging flowers. Mr. Thistle showed Sophia how to combine different flowers to make a beautiful bouquet. "Think about colors, shapes, and how the flowers will look together," he advised. Sophia carefully picked bright tulips, sparkling lilies, and soft roses. She arranged them in a small vase, tying a golden ribbon around the stems. As she stepped back, she noticed that the bouquet seemed to sparkle faintly. "Clover, look at this. It's magical," Sophia exclaimed. Clover hopped in delight, his tiny ears twitching happily. After arranging her first bouquet, Sophia moved on to learn about scents. Mr. Thistle taught her how to combine flowers to make a pleasing fragrance. Some flowers were sweet like honey, some were soft like vanilla, and others had a refreshing minty smell. Sophia carefully mixed different flowers and held the bouquet close to her nose. She smiled as the scents blended perfectly. "This is amazing," she said. "I never knew flowers could do so much." Sophia spent the entire morning learning, practicing, and exploring. She noticed that every flower was different. Some were delicate, others strong, but all responded to her care. She began to understand that being a florist was not just about arranging flowers. It was about love, patience, and attention. Each flower had a personality, and each bouquet told a story. Clover watched as Sophia worked, hopping excitedly whenever a flower seemed to shimmer with magic. By afternoon, Sophia had learned how to water, trim, arrange, and mix scents. She had created 3 magical bouquets, each unique and beautiful. The royal garden seemed brighter with her creations, and the magical flowers seemed happier than ever. "I think I'm learning fast, Clover," Sophia said, smiling as she dusted off her hands. "But I still have so much to do." Mr. Thistle smiled proudly. "Princess Sophia, you have a true gift. You listen to the flowers, you care for them, and you are patient. With practice, you will become a wonderful florist. Remember, the flowers will always guide you if you have a kind heart." Sophia nodded, her heart filled with joy. She realized that floristry was more than arranging flowers. It was about spreading happiness. A bouquet could cheer someone up, brighten their day, or even make them feel loved. Sophia wanted everyone in Enchancia to feel that joy. She imagined giving flowers to the townspeople, decorating the castle for festivals, and sharing her magic with friends. As the sun began to set, casting golden light over the royal gardens, Sophia looked at her 3 sparkling bouquets. She smiled proudly, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "Tomorrow," she said to Clover, "we will make even more beautiful arrangements, and I will learn new ways to help the flowers grow." Clover twitched his nose happily. Together, they left the greenhouse, hearts full of excitement, ready for the next step in Sofia's journey to becoming the kingdom's most magical florist. After days of learning how to care for flowers, arranging bouquets, and practicing every magical technique, Princess Sofia felt ready for her next big adventure. She wanted to share her love for flowers with the people of Enchancia. One morning, the king and queen approached her in the castle courtyard. "Sofia," said Queen Miranda with a warm smile, "you have a special gift with flowers. Would you like to share this gift with the kingdom?" Sofia's eyes lit up. "Oh, yes, your majesty. I want everyone to enjoy my flowers and feel their magic." King Roland nodded. "Then let's open a small flower shop here in the castle courtyard. You can design it, decorate it, and make it a place of joy for everyone." Sofia clapped her hands in delight. "Thank you. This will be amazing." Clover twitched his nose happily, hopping around her feet. Together, they began planning the shop. Princess Sofia wanted the shop to be bright, cheerful, and magical. She chose soft pastel-colored awnings that fluttered gently in the breeze. Hanging baskets with sparkling flowers were placed around the entrance, and golden lanterns glowed softly to guide visitors at night. Inside, shelves were lined with vases filled with lilies, roses, tulips, and enchanted flowers she had nurtured herself. Sofia carefully arranged each bouquet, making sure that colors, shapes, and fragrances blended perfectly. She even added tiny magical touches: a rose that glowed softly, a lily that twinkled like a star, and daisies that changed color when touched. The first visitors arrived early in the morning. Townspeople, hearing about the princess's magical flowers, came with excitement and curiosity. They marveled at the sparkling bouquets and beautiful arrangements. Children pressed their noses to the glass windows, giggling as butterflies and tiny glowing insects danced around the flowers. Sofia greeted each visitor with a bright smile. She listened carefully as they told her what they wanted. Some wanted a bouquet for a friend's birthday, others for a celebration, and some simply wanted a magical flower to brighten their day. Sofia began creating the bouquets. She carefully chose flowers based on the people's wishes. For a birthday, she selected bright tulips and soft yellow roses, tying them with a shiny golden ribbon. For someone feeling sad, she picked gentle lavender lilies and glowing daisies to cheer them up. With every arrangement, she whispered kind words, knowing that the flowers could sense her love and care. Clover helped by carrying small pots and tidying up petals that had fallen on the floor. As the day passed, Sofia realized that being a florist was about more than just arranging flowers. It was about listening, understanding, and spreading happiness. Each bouquet had its own story, and each person who left the shop carried a little piece of magic with them. Sofia loved seeing the smiles on their faces as they received the flowers. She understood that her flowers were not just decorations. They were gifts in the heart, and they could make people feel loved, special, and happy. By afternoon, the shop was bustling. Townspeople complimented her skills, praising her creativity and care. "Princess Sofia, your flowers are magical," one visitor said. "They make me feel joyful just looking at them." Sofia blushed but smiled politely. "Thank you. I am happy my flowers can bring happiness," she replied. Even magical creatures noticed her talent. Birds with golden feathers perched on the window, humming a happy tune. Butterflies with sparkling wings fluttered above the flowers. Even the talking animals from the castle garden stopped by to admire her creations. The castle courtyard felt alive with color, fragrance, and joy. Sofia knew she had created something truly special, a place where magic, nature, and kindness came together. By the evening, Sofia sat on a small bench in her shop, looking at the last bouquet she had arranged. It glowed softly with magical light, a combination of lilies, roses, and tulips tied with shimmering ribbon. She smiled, feeling proud of all she had accomplished. "Clover," she said, "this is only the beginning. Tomorrow, we can try new arrangements and maybe even teach others how to care for flowers." Clover twitched his nose happily, hopping up to nuzzle her hand. Princess Sofia realized something important that day. Being a florist was not just about flowers. It was about spreading joy, love, and kindness. Every bouquet she made was a gift from her heart. Every visitor who left with a magical flower carried a little piece of happiness into the world. And Sophia felt proud to be a princess who could share not only royal kindness, but also the magic of nature. As the sun set over the castle, casting golden light across the courtyard, Sophia looked at her little flower shop and felt her heart bloom with pride. She knew that this adventure was just a beginning. There were many more flowers to learn about, more bouquets to create, and more happiness to share. And she couldn't wait for tomorrow to continue her magical journey as Enchancia's royal florist. Princess Sofia had been running her royal flower shop for several weeks, and she was proud of all the joy her flowers had brought to the people of Enchancia. Every morning, she woke up excited to see the colorful bouquets she had arranged, the sparkling flowers in the courtyard, and the happy faces of visitors. Clover hopped alongside her as they walked to the gardens, ready to help with watering cans, small pots, and petals that had fallen on the ground. One morning, as Sophia opened the greenhouse, her heart sank. A section of the royal garden that had always been full of life now looked wilted and sad. The magical flowers, which normally shimmered and glowed with faint light, were drooping. Their petals hung low, their colors dull, and the soft, magical glow that had always filled the garden had faded. Sophia knelt beside a rose bush and gently touched a drooping blossom. "Oh no, what happened?" she whispered. Clover twitched nervously, sensing her concern. Sophia knew she had to act quickly. She called Mr. Thistle, the royal gardener, to help. "Princess Sophia," he said, examining the wilted plants. "Sometimes even magical flowers can lose their glow if something is wrong in the soil or they are not cared for properly. But don't worry, we can save them." Sophia nodded determinedly. "I want to help them. I won't give up." She spent the morning carefully watering each plant, making sure every drooping flower received just the right amount of water. She trimmed broken stems, removed dead leaves, and even rearranged plants so that each one received enough sunlight. She whispered gentle words to each flower, hoping that her kindness would help them regain their magic. Clover hopped along, fetching small tools and rolling tiny pots toward her. Even with all her efforts, some flowers seemed slow to recover. Sophia paused for a moment and took a deep breath. She realized that being a florist was not always easy. Flowers, like people, needed patience and care. She remembered Mr. Thistle's words. Flowers respond to love, attention, and patience. Sophia smiled softly. "I can do this," she said, determined to help every single plant. Sophia decided to try something new. She gathered a small batch of enchanted fertilizer and sprinkled it gently around the roots of the most wilting flowers. Then she sang a soft melody she had learned from her friends in the castle. Her voice floated over the garden, gentle and sweet. Slowly, she noticed the flowers starting to perk up. A tulip lifted its drooping petals, a lily's glow returned faintly, and even a rose bush that looked nearly dead shimmered in soft pink light. Clover hopped with joy, twirling around Sophia as if celebrating the flower's recovery. By midday, most of the flowers had regained their sparkle. Sophia carefully observed each plant, making notes in her little notebook. She realized that each flower had its own personality and needs. Some needed extra water, some needed sunlight, and some just needed her gentle care and attention. The princess understood that being a florist meant paying attention, being patient, and never giving up. Each flower's revival felt like a small victory, and Sophia felt proud of her efforts. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, the royal garden was full of life once again. The magical flowers glowed softly, shimmering in the fading light. Sophia looked around at the restored garden, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. Clover hopped up and nuzzled her hand. "We did it, Clover," Sophia said, smiling. "We saved the flowers." Through this challenge, Princess Sofia learned an important lesson. She understood that being a florist was not just about arranging beautiful bouquets or decorating the shop. It was about caring, paying attention to details, and facing problems with patience and determination. Even when something seemed difficult or impossible, with love and effort, anything could bloom again. That evening, Sophia sat on a small bench in the garden, looking at the glowing flowers and breathing in their sweet fragrance. She felt proud of herself, but she also felt grateful for the lessons she had learned. Being a florist was more than a hobby. It was a responsibility, and Princess Sofia knew she was ready to take that responsibility seriously. She whispered softly, I will take care of these flowers every day, Clover. They bring joy to everyone, and they deserve our love. As night fell over Enchancia, the royal garden sparkled under the soft glow of magical flowers. Princess Sofia stood up, brushed her lavender gown, and smiled. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, more flowers to care for, and more happiness to share. And she couldn't wait to continue her journey as the kingdom's most magical and caring florist. After weeks of learning, practicing, and caring for flowers, Princess Sofia felt ready for something very special. She wanted to share everything she had learned with the people of Enchancia and celebrate the joy of flowers. One bright morning, she ran to the royal courtyard with Clover hopping excitedly beside her. "Clover, I have an idea," she said. "Let's organize a magical floral festival. Everyone can come, see the flowers, and celebrate with us." Clover twitched his nose happily. "That sounds wonderful. Princess Sofia," he said. Sofia smiled. She wanted the festival to be a place of magic, laughter, and beauty. She imagined glowing flowers in every color, sparkling lights hanging above, and everyone enjoying the scents, colors, and beauty of nature. She ran to the castle garden, her notebook in hand, making a careful plan for the festival. Sofia worked tirelessly to prepare. She arranged flowers in large bouquets, small vases, and charming baskets. She created displays of magical roses that glowed softly, lilies that shimmered with faint rainbow colors, and tulips that sparkled when touched. Hanging flower baskets floated gently from the castle arches. Glowing lanterns lit the walkways, and magical petals twirled in the air as if dancing. Clover helped by carrying small pots and organizing flower displays. Together, they transformed the castle courtyard into a magical garden like no one had ever seen before. When the day of the festival arrived, people from all over Enchancia came to join the celebration. Children ran through the garden, laughing as tiny magical butterflies fluttered around them. Townspeople admired Sofia's flower arrangements, their faces lighting up with joy. Even magical creatures in the castle gardens joined the festival. Golden birds perched on flower displays, talking animals peeked from behind trees, and sparkling fireflies added a touch of magic to the evening. Princess Sofia greeted each visitor warmly. "Welcome to the Magical Floral Festival," she said, her eyes sparkling. She guided children through the displays, showing them which flowers glowed and explaining how each bouquet was arranged. Some visitors tried their hands at arranging flowers, and Sofia patiently helped them, showing them how to mix colors, tie ribbons, and care for the magical plants. Clover hopped around, making everyone laugh with his funny little antics. The highlight of the festival was the bouquet competition. People of all ages created their own arrangements, using ideas inspired by Princess Sofia's magic and creativity. Sofia walked among participants, giving gentle advice and encouragement. "Try combining different colors," she suggested. "See how the petals sparkle when you add a little love and care." She reminded everyone that the true magic of flowers came from kindness and attention. By the end of the competition, everyone had a beautiful bouquet, and the castle courtyard was filled with glowing flowers, laughter, and happiness. As the sun began to set, the enchanted flowers glowed even brighter under the golden light. Sofia had arranged a special display in the center of the courtyard, a large heart-shaped arrangement of roses, lilies, and tulips that shimmered with royal magic. She stood proudly in the middle, watching everyone admire the flowers. "This is amazing," she whispered to Clover. "All our hard work paid off." The festival was more than just flowers. It was about spreading happiness and kindness. People left the courtyard smiling, carrying their glowing bouquets to brighten their homes. Children talked about the magical butterflies and sparkling petals, and townspeople praised Sofia for her creativity and care. Princess Sofia realized that being a florist was not just about arranging flowers. It was about sharing joy, love, and magic with everyone. By evening, as lanterns glowed softly and the castle sparkled under the twilight sky, Princess Sofia sat on a small bench, holding a glowing bouquet she had made for herself. Clover nestled beside her, twitching his nose happily. Sofia smiled and thought about her journey, the first spark of an idea, learning from Mr. Thistle, caring for flowers during challenges, and finally, sharing her magic with everyone. She felt proud, happy, and grateful. "This is the best day ever, Clover," she said softly. "The festival shows that flowers are more than just plants. They are magic, happiness, and love all in one. And now, I can share that magic with the whole kingdom. Clover twitched his ears and nuzzled her hand, as if agreeing. Princess Sofia knew that this was only the beginning. There would be many more flowers to arrange, more gardens to care for, and more happiness to spread. But today, she had learned the true magic of being a florist. It was not just about the flowers themselves, but about the love, care, and joy they could bring to others. As the stars twinkled above the castle and the glowing flowers bathed the courtyard in soft light, Princess Sofia held her glowing bouquet close. Her heart felt full, like a flower in full bloom. She knew that the journey of florist was magical, rewarding, and full of surprises. And she couldn't wait to continue sharing her love for flowers, one magical bouquet at a time.